Jeff Bezos made one decision that looked insane to every Wall Street colleague. A Princeton-trained engineer earning millions at D.E. Shaw saw web usage growing 2,300% annually and quit to sell books online. In 1994, almost no one shopped on the internet because almost no one was online. That all-in bet turned a garage bookstore into Amazon, a $638 billion empire that reshaped commerce forever. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born January 12, 1964, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. According to Britannica, his biological parents were teenagers. His mother later married Miguel Bezos, who adopted Jeff and moved the family to Houston. Money was not abundant. Childhood summers were spent on his grandparents' ranch in Texas, repairing windmills and fixing tractors with whatever tools were available. He developed a fascination with systems early. As a kid, he built small inventions and started the Dream Institute, a summer program for younger students. In Miami, he graduated valedictorian from high school in 1982, then entered Princeton University. He studied electrical engineering and computer science, graduating summa cum laude in 1986. After Princeton, Bezos moved into high-tech finance. He worked at Fittle, then Bankers Trust, then the hedge fund D.E. Shaw. At D.E. Shaw he rose fast, becoming the firm's youngest senior vice president. His job was to scan for the next investment frontier. In 1994, he was asked to explore what the growing internet might mean for business. He began reading usage reports and saw growth curves that looked like a rocket launch. Web usage was exploding at over 2,000% annually, according to later accounts of his decision. Bezos documented possible online product categories, then narrowed the list using simple logic. Choose something that could be stocked digitally, shipped easily, and offered in selection no physical store could match. Books fit perfectly because there were millions of titles and no bookstore could carry them all. Here was the pivotal moment. Bezos asked himself which future would hurt more, trying and failing, or never trying at all. He called this regret minimization reasoning. In mid-1994, he resigned from D.E. Shaw, moved to Seattle, and opened a company first called Cadabra, then renamed Amazon. But that is not the full picture. The decision that built the empire was deeper than selling books online. Amazon launched July 16, 1995. In its first week, it sold about $12,000 of books with orders from across the United States and dozens of countries. The internet offered a mechanic physical retail could not replicate: infinite shelf space. Bezos leaned into that advantage with customer reviews, recommendations, and search tools that made a vast catalog feel navigable. The contrarian insight was simple. E-commerce was not a niche. It was a new operating system for retail. Each time Amazon gained a foothold, capital was poured back into lower prices, better service, and new categories. Growth brought a resource problem. An online bookstore with thin margins needed capital for warehouses and talent. Bezos chose public markets early. Amazon filed for IPO in 1997, pricing shares at $12.14 according to SEC filings. The IPO did not mean Amazon had proven profits. It meant Bezos had chosen a second contrarian rule: grow fast and reinvest everything. In his 1997 shareholder letter, Bezos emphasized long-term thinking, customer obsession, and willingness to prioritize market leadership over short-term earnings. That letter introduced the day one mentality: operate like a startup no matter how large the company became. By 1998-1999, Amazon expanded into music, video, and general merchandise. Warehouses were built to speed shipping. Third-party sellers were invited onto the platform, turning Amazon from a store into a marketplace. Then came a service that looked reckless. In February 2005, Amazon introduced Prime, flat-fee membership for fast, free shipping at $79 annually. Offering unlimited shipping for a fixed fee alarmed analysts. The math seemed impossible. Bezos treated it as a flywheel. More Prime members would buy more. Higher volume would lower cost per unit. Savings would fund faster delivery. Faster delivery would attract more members. The flywheel became Amazon's signature growth engine. Another leap followed in 2006. Amazon opened Amazon Web Services, renting its computing infrastructure to developers. Few retailers had ever sold computing power. Bezos saw that Amazon's internal needs had forced it to build world-class servers and software. Renting that capability could fund retail investment and create a second empire. The wins compounded. In 2007, Amazon introduced the Kindle, tying hardware, content, and Prime distribution into a tighter ecosystem. These were not random bets. They were manifestations of the same 1994 decision: build ahead of demand, then scale relentlessly once demand appeared. What happened next surprised everyone. The dot-com bubble burst in 2000-2001. Many internet retailers collapsed. Amazon stock fell sharply, and critics predicted bankruptcy. The crisis was existential. If capital markets closed and customers lost faith, the company could die. Bezos responded without abandoning the long-term rule. He pushed for operational excellence, building more efficient fulfillment, tightening inventory, and improving the marketplace model so third parties could absorb stocking risk. Amazon survived, then emerged stronger as weaker competitors vanished. The lesson burned into the culture: scale only matters if unit economics work. In the 2010s, Amazon accelerated into new domains. It built a global logistics network with airplanes and delivery stations. It expanded Prime into media with Prime Video. It entered smart devices with Alexa. And it crossed into physical retail through Whole Foods, acquired in 2017 for about $13.7 billion. AWS became the largest cloud provider in the world. Amazon's 2024 results show AWS revenue of about $108 billion, up 19% year-over-year. Total net sales reached $638 billion for the year. Those numbers reflect not one business but a portfolio: e-commerce, cloud, advertising, subscriptions, and devices, all connected by the same customer and logistics core. Bezos stepped down as CEO in 2021, becoming executive chairman while Andy Jassy took over operations. Yet he remained central to the broader empire. He founded Blue Origin for commercial spaceflight and purchased The Washington Post in 2013 for $250 million. These ventures share the same pattern: build infrastructure for a distant future, then commit before others believe. As of 2025, Forbes places Bezos among the world's richest individuals with net worth estimates in the low to mid $200 billion range, mostly from Amazon ownership. But the deeper empire is not the number. It is the system that made the number possible. The business lessons are direct. First, a single high-stakes decision can rewrite the field when anchored in a real trend. Bezos noticed the internet's growth curve earlier than most and acted while the window was open. Second, build a flywheel, not a product. The bookstore was the wedge. Progress came from connecting advantages so each improvement paid for the next. Prime increased frequency. Frequency lowered unit cost. Lower cost funded faster delivery. Faster delivery increased Prime's value. Third, long-term thinking is a competitive weapon only when backed by operational discipline. Amazon survived the dot-com crash because fulfillment, inventory, and marketplace economics were redesigned to produce cash, not just hype. Fourth, infrastructure creates optionality. Warehouses enabled categories beyond books. Cloud servers enabled AWS. Devices enabled media ecosystems. Each layer turned Amazon into a platform that could expand without reinventing itself. Can this work today? New frontiers still show the same pattern. AI, climate technology, biotech, and space each have curves similar to the early web. The empire code is to spot a curve that will not stay small, then commit early with a scalable flywheel behind it. Jeff Bezos started as a curious kid on a Texas ranch, became a Wall Street vice president, then made the all-in internet bookstore bet of 1994. That bet led to Amazon, generating $638 billion in 2024 net sales with a cloud arm above $100 billion in annual revenue. The empire came from one contrarian move: leave certainty to build for day one forever. If you enjoyed learning about this empire builder's journey and you're interested in building your own empire, there's something you need to know. Jeff Bezos and 78% of the Forbes 400 use a specific strategy to build massive businesses and multiply their wealth systematically. But here's what most people miss: there's a pattern. A strategy hiding in plain sight. The Forbes 400 know it. They exploit it. They've built fortunes with it. And it's been hidden from mainstream business education for decades. First link in the description reveals what the titans of industry don't talk about publicly. Watch it next. 10 minutes that could change everything.